All right, so it's Don with True Blue Canine. I'm here with one of the pups that we ended up breeding, and then we ended up selling this pup to another person. Uh, and then the other person took Jax to another dog trainer. Um, so today's our first day working them since we've had them back. We bought them back, I guess 2 days ago, and we noticed some things that are a bit concerning. One, he has a bunch of irritation marks around his neck where the prong collar is usually sitting, and there's actually one puncture wound. It's perfectly circular, and it fits a prong just perfect. So the other trainer probably didn't train the individual that had him on the correct way to use a prong and set up or whatever. And he may have. A lot of people, they take their dogs to the trainer. The trainer will explain to them in 10-15 minutes how to use the prong. But then the owner goes home and everything that was told to them goes out the window. They get frustrated with their dog because their dog's not listening, and they just yank the heck out of their dog using the prong collar. And it's usually on a live ring where it'll actually pinch down, and that's where you get these injuries from. So this is Jackson. We're going to demonstrate some things about him, some things that when we had him he never did, and his siblings aren't doing. But one is he's pretty fearful of the prong collar and a correction. I don't know where that began, whether it's at the other trainer or if it was the owner. I'm betting it was the other owner. Just got real mad and would manhandle him. And he's still a pup. He just turned 9 months old. He's a Belgian Malinois. He has these great drives, high strong, high energy, and a lot of times people just don't understand that and they get frustrated and they take it out on the dog. So the proper way to use a prong collar is make sure that it's loose. Make sure that you have some room to stick your hand in there in between. When you do use it, you want it to be a popping motion or a snap, kind of like this. It doesn't need to be this huge, movement where you take the dog from 10 foot away from you or 5 foot and you yank them through the air. That's completely inappropriate. And the only one that's wrong is you, not the dog. So us as humans, we tend to err quite frequently. And we think that animals, they don't have these feelings or they should just automatically know. Well, our dogs aren't going to know unless we teach them. And we have to be consistent in our teaching. We can't train our dog today and then a month from now expect it to still do what it did today. It's consistency. And so many times we fail our dogs by doing that. And then we give equipment like the prong collar a bad name, where in fact it's a very safe collar, safer than a choker. But bad people give bad names to things. Just like the pit bull. Pit bull's not a bad dog. It's the owners that do nothing with them, or they use them for fighting. It gives the pit bull a bad name. But they're great dogs. So I'm just going to show you a few things. His obedience is pretty rough. We've been working probably 30 minutes today to try and kind of get him on track with it a little bit, because he's already had 4 weeks of in-kennel training and another trainer. And the other trainer I know, and they generally do a pretty good job. So I can't blame that trainer. But I can't blame the owner either completely. It lies on both. More the owner than the trainer. So let's see how he does. Here. Now, when I give him these pops on his collar, I go like that. His ears will go back and he'll flinch. And sometimes he'll yelp, even though there's really no correction. That tells me the corrections on him have been completely inappropriate and has been wrong for a long time, because now it's just ingrained in him that it's going to hurt, that it's going to be unfair. And so that's something in the coming months that we're going to have to work on with him, just to regain his trust and his confidence in us as a handler. Yep. Sit. Good, sit. Yep. Sit. Good, sit. Yep. Sit. Good. Yep. Sit. Good. And now you can see Jax, when we stop suddenly to sit, we give him the command to sit, but you'll kind of see his face. It has this worried look. His ears are back. His tail stops wagging. And that to me tells me that he's waiting for that correction. He's waiting to get hurt because he doesn't trust us. He doesn't trust whoever was training him before. So these are different body signals and signs that we can watch for in our dogs. Say, hey, am I being too rough? Are my corrections too much? Am I not being fair with them? The dog will tell us. We just have to be paying attention to what he's saying. Okay, you see that? I just did this one little quick pop. You see how he kind of hunkers down? And it was minimal pressure at all. See, like that? Now he's hugging the ground. And I wasn't doing anything. Now this people tells me that whoever worked them before, whether it's ingrained for a while, get out of there. Whether it's been happening for a while or it's been happening, I don't know. I haven't seen the dog since he was like 4 or 5 months old, and here he is now 9 months old. And it's just crazy that he would hunker down like that. And it's just, it tells me that the corrections on the prong were completely out of bounds. It never should have happened that hard or that way. If we feel like we have to correct our dog really hard, we're doing something wrong. One, we're not being consistent. We're not being fair. We're not paying attention. It's always us, the human, the handler. So if you're watching, stop doing what you're doing and take another approach. See somebody who actually knows what they're doing. That can kind of talk you through it. You have to be very patient, very calm, and energetic in your training. You can't be all monotone. We need our dogs to be happy. We want them to enjoy the training. You'll get longer lasting effects that way, not by strong arming your dog. And this poor dog, like I said, and there'll be pictures I'll attach to the video. He has puncture wounds on his neck. They're scabbing up now, but they're all the way from the side to underneath. It's completely wrong. And if you're a trainer and you're watching this, you should be just as upset as I am. Because one, either your client is not taking your advice and they're just manhandling their dog, which is ultimately going to give you a bad name because somebody's going to say, oh, who trained your dog? Well, so-and-so trained my dog. And they see that your dog is afraid of wearing the equipment, afraid to make mistakes. Nobody wants a dog that's fearful. So if you're a trainer and you're getting upset with this, you have every right to. If you're the trainer that trained this dog, you should really have the right to be upset about this because he's giving you a really bad name. And most of us trainers really love dogs. And we don't want to see our dogs fearful or frightened of the equipment. We want them to do great things while using the tools that are provided. So if you're the trainer that trained them, or you're a trainer, maybe take a few extra minutes to educate your clients on how to properly use this collar. Now us, we don't use the prong collars that have the live rein. Why? Because we found that most of our clients will put it on the live rein because one, they forget or they're too lazy to hook it up to both of them and they allow it to pinch down. So we just use these Springer ones that have one loop. It prevents the prongs from choking down and puncturing the dog. So, and there's many other alternatives out there, but educate your clients on it before they use it. Spend some time demonstrating it with the dog, demonstrating what a correction looks like. If they do an in-kennel, we have a tendency of, giving them an hour block of instruction of what took us 4 weeks to do, and then we send them home, and then that's it. They feel that they have a fully trained dog, so the dog should listen, and they're just going to correct them. Here at True Blue Canine, we give our clients private lessons afterwards at no additional cost. It comes with the in-kennel package to ensure that they use this correctly, and they use the leash right, and they treat the dog and praise the dog correctly. So again, I don't know if it came out well, but you can see the dog kind of cower down. He flinches, his ears back, his tail stops wagging. He's afraid. So don't use your equipment improperly. It's going to suck for the dog. It's going to suck for you as a handler. And most importantly, if you're the trainer, it's really going to look bad on you. All right, so thanks for watching.